Hello everyone, lovely to see you. Hope you've had a good summer. Do you know, over the summer I've been watching our birds in our garden and just watching the flowers, and I realised today that actually our bird feeder is getting a bit old, but it needed refilling. So you've caught me just at a time when I decided to refill it. And it's made me think about all the birds and the flowers and everything that we've been able to see over the summer and in our garden. And we're going to go inside now, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the birds that we can see and what Jesus thinks about them. See you in a minute. Wow, did you see all those birds that came to the feeder after I'd gone in? We filled the other one. And they just flocked to it, didn't it? And it just is so lovely to watch. I wonder if you've got anything like that in your garden, or maybe you could put something up, or maybe you could just have a look. But it reminded me of a story and a time in our Bible when Jesus was talking to all the people. He had a huge crowd of people. They were sort of on a mountain, and everybody decided to come and listen to Jesus. And he was just teaching the people at the time, and so much of what he said is just right for us now. And let me just read it with you, shall I? It says, all sorts of people went to see Jesus. There were children, mothers, fathers, grandmas, and grandpas. They all wanted to hear what Jesus was teaching about. And you know, Jesus said to them, look around, look at the birds. Just look at the birds. Well, that's just what we've been doing, isn't it? Do they store up their food in a barn? No, they don't worry about where their food comes from. God provides their food. And so do we a little bit as human beings now, don't we? But God looks after them. Then he said, look around you at the flowers, he said. Look at the flowers. They don't work hard to make beautiful clothes for themselves. No. God designs them and dresses them in beautiful petals and lush leaves. They are so pretty. Not even a king could be that beautiful. Then, this is the important bit, he said to the people who were listening, you are much more important than birds. You are much more important than flowers. So don't worry. If God can take care of them, he can certainly take care of you. And I love that, because actually all the things around us, they're not worried about anything. They don't care about anything, because actually they just exist. The flowers just grow in the garden, the birds just fly around, and they're all happy. There was another time that Jesus was speaking to some people who were worried about something, and he saw some sparrows, the little tiny ones. That's the ones that were on my bird feeder just now. And he said to the people, do you know how much 5 sparrows are worth? Just a few coins. But do you know, God sees every one of them. One can't even drop to the ground without God knows about it. And then he went on to say something really interesting. Do you know, God even knows how many hairs you've got on your head. He knows everything about you. And this is the best bit. Let me read it to you. You are more valuable to God than a whole flock of sparrows. Oh, I love that. So when I start to get a little bit worried about what's happening or trying something new, do you know, I just go back to the Bible, and Jesus says, don't worry. You are really important. You're really special. And all through this term in Noah's Ark, we're going to be looking at stories from our Bible that show us how loved we are by God and how special we are, and that Jesus wants to be our friend. So over the coming weeks, we're going to have some stories, we're going to have some craft, we're going to do all sorts of things. So I do hope you're going to join us and log in onto the Facebook, get Mummy and Daddy to keep looking at it, and we'll be here each week doing something different. But just before I go, I thought I'd leave something for you to do, because it's not just my garden that's got birds in. Just below, after this video, I've posted a picture of all sorts of birds that you can find in your garden. Now, I could tick this one off now because I've seen loads of sparrows in my garden. Just a little bit earlier today, I actually saw a blue tit as well, which was great. But to be a proper bird watcher, you do need some binoculars. Now, I wonder if you could make some binoculars. You'll need a kitchen roll, or if you've got them, you could have 2 toilet rolls. But as you can see, I had to rescue these out of the recycling. They're already squashed, so they're not very good. Some wrapping paper, a couple of bits of old wrapping paper, or you could have some tin foil, or you could just have some felt pens and colour it in. I had some old wrapping paper lying about, so I thought I'd use that. You need some glue, which just fell on the floor, some glue, a stapler, and maybe some string if you want to give your binoculars a strap. So cut your kitchen roll in half, and then very carefully just put a whole load of glue all over it, because you're just going to stick this wrapping paper to it. Roll it round, and then maybe just a little bit of glue on the end there. Now you can do it as neatly or as not as you want to. You could colour it in, and then what I would do, I'd just poke that over, and then it all stays in, and it's just a little bit prettier, isn't it, than the actual cardboard tube. And then you do the other one just the same, very, very quickly. See, it doesn't take long, does it? You can have great fun. I'd love to see a picture of your binoculars, and maybe even a picture of some birds or some flowers in your garden. Could you get Mummy or Daddy just to take a photo and post them in the comments below this? We'd love to see what you're looking at. And maybe we can just say thank you to God for the birds and the flowers that you see. You don't have to do them from your garden. Maybe if you're going to the park or something for a little walk, have a look and see what you can see. Now, here's my 2 parts. Very, very easy. You can sellotape them together, but I'm going to have a go with a stapler and see if I can put them together. Might be a bit tricky because it is cardboard. No, I don't think it wants to work. I'm going to resort to my sellotape. Good old sellotape. It works every time, doesn't it? And just tape the 2 parts together at the top and at the bottom. Now, it's up to you whether you put a strap on them. You don't need to. It's only something else to get wrapped around your neck or something, isn't it? But if you've got some string, you could put some in. But then why don't you go and take them out for a walk, or go out into your garden and just have a look. I'm having a look now into my garden, and I can see some birds. I'd love to see the things that you can see this week. Let's just pray, and let's just thank Jesus for all the things that he's made. Jesus, we thank you for the sparrows. We thank you for all the birds and the flowers that we can see around us. And we thank you that you tell us you love us even more than all the sparrows, and we are so valuable and precious to you. We just pray over the next term in Noah's Ark that we will know and understand how special we are, and we thank you that you love us. Amen. It's been lovely sharing some of my garden with you and all the stories and things, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.